Welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at shrinkflation. So what is shrinkflation? So shrinkflation basically means that the items that we usually get that were affordable on the market, now you find that they are even more expensive. At the same time, you get less of the items. So this is another way that companies are using to try to get more money, but at the same time it means that people are ended up paying more, and they do little things that they hope that you don't notice. So we're gonna be going through different videos for shrinkflation. And before we start, don't forget to like this video and subscribe so that we can continue to grow the channel. And yeah, as always, let's get on with it.
You've probably noticed things at the grocery store are getting more expensive, but are they getting smaller as well? Shrinkflation is the sneaky tactic of reducing the size of a product while keeping the price relatively the same. It's like a magician's sleight of hand, but instead of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, they're pulling chips out of our bags. Now, sometimes it's a little obvious, especially when you compare old packaging sizes to new ones. But other times, it can be pretty sneaky, like when they trim a few sheets off a box of toilet paper rolls, or when Toblerone increased the gaps between the mountains in their chocolate bar while keeping it the exact same size. But hey, maybe it's for our own good. Smaller snacks mean less toilet paper needed, right? When is the last time you've noticed shrinkflation?
Yeah, this video definitely explains it very well in terms of shrinkflation. So they will take all the necessary shortcuts to make sure that they actually make less of the same product, which obviously, if you notice and you've been using the same product for over a couple of years and you've been buying, whether it's snacks, and you can see that now they're actually starting to offer you less, and you know that there's another company that actually sells the same product, you're gonna go and actually buy to that same product. Because I think companies sometimes they forget that as consumers, especially now that things are very expensive, we're actually aware of what we're buying, and we're starting to notice a little bit things that we used to overlook in the past when things were affordable. Now we can notice everything in terms of items. You can see whether are you getting the best and is your money getting well spent, and if not, you'll try to find an alternative. So I think that's the thing that they are failing to look, that we can see that the items are getting more expensive and we're actually getting less of that.
Hey, what can I get for you? Yeah, can I get a chicken shawarma wrap, please? That'll be $6.50. I'll pay debit. Whoa, this is huge. Yeah, she's loaded. Thank you. Enjoy. Hey, can I get a shawarma wrap, please? $6.75. Thank you. Have a good one. Chicken wrap, please. $7.50. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, the usual. Chicken wrap. $9.75. $9.75? Hey, it is what it is. Have they always been this size? Yeah. Okay.
So this video is a very good representation. So this is where things are going, and also this is not happening in terms of food only, it's also happening in terms of the car market. In terms of the car market, a lot of people don't notice, because what companies are doing is that back in the days they used to make cars and interior with very durable materials that can last for long. These are things that even when the car starts to get old, they don't get scratchy, and also the car would be more durable, and they would put leather, they would just put high-end material. But now they're actually putting cheap plastic, and what they're doing is that in terms of you, so that you don't see, they will give you screens and to make sure that you don't see, and most times they won't even give you buttons to control the AC. Now when you're driving, you have to look away and try to adjust the temperature, which is kind of dangerous. So this is the thing that we are seeing, whether it's food, it's an industry that's actually growing, that a lot of companies are starting to explore. And in terms of us, since we can't really go out there and actually strike, the best that we can do is to strike using our wallet, and we actually stop buying their products, so that we can actually, so that they can actually see that we do see all this BS that they're doing, and we're not getting our money's worth.
Pringles have actually shrunk twice, because originally they're 200 grams, but now they're coming in at 185 grams, or in some cases 165 grams. So if you see them on offer and it looks like a good deal, it's probably because they're 165 grams, so it's always worth checking to see if you're getting a good deal or not.
So I just opened up these saltines, and I have been eating saltines my entire life. and I'm sure most of you have as well. What's wrong with this picture? Like, there's literally tons of room. And usually the saltines come all the way to the top, and like you have to like fight to pull them out. What the fuck is going on?
we know what's going on. We already know what's going on. This is another BS that's actually happening. To hope that you don't notice, which means that if that packet, if on top there used to be like 2, maybe a total of 8, basically you've lost 8 items that you paid for. Yeah, man, like what has the world come to? It seems like greed is the new highlight.
Here are the most embarrassing examples of shrinkflation. XL removing a piece of gum to replace it with a thumb grip. Celebration cookies boosting up the bottom of the tray. Quality Street boxes have been caught shrinking over time. This person wondered where all the bottoms of their candy canes went. Bruh. Kraft Dinner boxes are shrinking as the price stays the same. Pringles are now nearly half the size. Pop-Tarts are using less icing. WD-40 cans are shrinking but claiming to have more product. This person's McDonald's pickle was thicker than the actual burger.
This is shrinkflation. No diss to Costco. I used to buy these all the time. I just want people to be aware. And they used to have rows of 5 in each. 6 rows of 5, that's 30. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 4, that's 20 for the same price.
This is shrinkflation in real life. Shrinkflation is when companies sneakily reduce the size of a product to save money and improve margins while making it seem like nothing has changed so you won't notice.
I don't like paying more for the same item and you find that it's actually smaller. I notice a lot of things, like as painful as it is, especially when I go to buy food, I can notice the price changes from a couple of years. I used to spend very less in terms of grocery and now you're actually spending more, and I can notice in terms of the items and in terms of the price increase and in terms of the item, whether it's still big or it's still small. And as a result of that, to be honest, I don't like overspending on grocery. Hey man, we're working too hard for this money, and if these companies don't want to give us the value for money, because even if you go and you have money short, they're not going to give you the item. So why should you pay more or pay for the item if they're not going to give you your money's worth? I always look for alternatives, to be honest. I always look for alternatives. I rather even go to the internet and find out what is the product that does the same thing as this product, and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to buy that other product and see. And most of the time you actually find out that the other product that's cheap actually does more than the expensive product, and that actually helps me to save money. So I would actually encourage everyone to actually explore. I think there's a time to explore now. You may find that you can actually save money, and company or brand loyalty, what does it do in terms of your pocket? It doesn't benefit you in the long run. And yeah, man, there's a lot of these videos, and yeah, here's another one. It never ends.
Peace tea, down to 16 ounces. Gillette, what are you doing? 5 cartridges, right? Because they can. They're just leaving 3 of them empty. Just 3 empty spots in their value pack. You know that we know there used to be 8 in there, right? This is what it looks like on the outside of the box for Pop-Tarts. This is what it looks like when you mix the Pop-Tarts in the toaster. Do they not realize that we can see the package and the, like, what are they doing? Pop-Tarts, what is that? Hershey's. Now 4 snack size instead of 5 snack size. Onions, down from 6 ounces to 5 1/4 ounces. Ziploc bags used to have 166 total between each of them. Now there's 144 total bags in this variety pack. At Costco, I hate seeing it when it happens at Costco. QP mayonnaise, here it is at 500 grams down to 450 grams.
I think in terms of what we are seeing, there's just one trend that we're noticing, and that trend is that especially food that are not good for us, processed foods, they're the ones which are actually doing these things. How about we actually eat less processed foods and you actually start eating healthy, and we find other healthier alternatives? Because I mean, most of these foods are actually they're just getting us fat, man. You can see I have a scale right there where every morning I go and I stand on that scale, and I'm not happy at all. My weight is skyrocketing because of processed food. So I think if we can start to eat more healthier, it will help, and we'll save our money, and we won't even need to notice all these things. And these companies will actually notice that we actually care about our money, and we won't pay more for these items. Yeah, I think this is all that I have in terms of shrinkflation. Don't forget to comment and actually let me know in terms of what you think about what is being happening, and what are the things that you're doing in order to save more money and you don't have to overspend. Yeah, just let me know in the comment section below, and as always, I'll see you again, same time, same place.